beautiful Rashmi and Bedi. They are here finally. Good to meet them. Um, they are single-handedly responsible for making this evening happen. I want to thank. I'm so happy because I was really looking forward to launch this.
That turned out to be a wonderful way of encouragement and women empowerment.
Welcome to Glam and Shine with Rashmi Bedi. My guest today is beautiful and gorgeous opera singer with melodious and charismatic voice, Gioconda Vessichelli.
Hi,
Welcome to
hi
the show.
everyone.
How are you?
Thank- I'm very good. I hope you all are well too.
Thank you so much. Firstly, I would like to thank you for being part of our show and taking out time to share your journey with our viewers all over USA and Canada. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much to you too for hosting me today.
So, as you're on our show, I would like that you're such a wonderful singer. Two lines. I would like to listen of your genre, what you are famous for. Please, can you sing for our viewers? Then we'll start with your journey.
Okay, actually, I'm an opera singer, and I want to start with my favorite composer, who is Giacomo Puccini, and I will sing a small extract from Tosca, which is one of my favorite opera.
Sure.
And this is
Oh
like
my God,
aria,
beautiful.
because actually we call it aria and not a song in opera technical language. It's like, a kind of prayer of the protagonist in a moment of the scene when she's very sad because her beloved has just run away. So actually, the beauty of opera is that in every single role that we are singing, there is a plot behind it. So it's very similar to a movie or to a theater play. But the difference is that rather than being spoken, it's sang. So I always do a deep research in the character and in the role before starting singing it, because me being an actor and also a theater director, I always feel that in complete artist and opera singer should not just be, focused on the voice technique, which is of course a long um, a long process which requires 10 and actually 20 years, like my teacher, the biggest and the most famous tenor of the world, Luciano Pavarotti, used to teach us that it's a very long journey, a never ending journey actually, because the life of an artist is like a never ending process of learning.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely right. So, like, I would really like from your childhood, when you started singing, when you felt like you want to become a singer, what was that moment? And how, and what, when you realized it, like, please do share with us.
Actually, during my childhood, I didn't even actually think about what I was doing. I was just feeling that I needed to sing. For me, singing it was like breathing. It was something very natural. And then, of course, you have to direct all the all your efforts or your studies in order not lose your voice, because of course it's not just something which is just a God gift. Yes, it's a God gift, but also it requires a deep study, which I did in the Rome University, because otherwise, without a proper technique, especially when you take very high pitched notes and very fast, which is called virtuosism, you may risk to lose your voice. For example, if you sing some Rossini arias, like all in one breath, you
Wow.
have to actually start thinking about diaphragmatic breathing, how to sustain the breath and the note, of course. So now it looks easy because, of course, the singers should never show that they are doing any effort, but actually the process and the journey to reach there, it's quite a difficult journey, because you have to start first slowly, then to increase the speed, and to study each and every single pitches and notes with lots of precisions. And also you have to use your face bones like a microphone, because opera singers, of course, they don't use microphones, as it's a very ancient kind of singing. So it started in the 17th century, and at that time there was no electricity, and as a
Yeah.
consequence, microphones. So they needed to use their own cavities of the face and the bones behind the nose and everything. So I also needed to study a little bit of medicine, let's say like that, in order to understand better the resonances. So it's a very interesting path, and
Absolutely.
I
You are a very good writer also. So how and when you felt that yes, you can write. It's not easy. Like I think so it's God gift.
Yeah, in that I'm agreeing with you, because that it has always been with me in a very spontaneous way. I always felt that there is something in me to be expressed, so it came very easily and very quickly. Maybe also because I started writing when I was very young, and I think that's really a God gift. I studied, of course. I did my university. I have 2 degrees, and the PhD and all these things. But I think those are things that you can't learn if you don't actually have a God's gift. So I'm thankful to God for that. And when you write, especially, you have to be very confident about the language you are writing in, because
Absolutely.
for me, of course, me being Italian, I speak Italian, parlo italiano, that's
Yeah.
my language. मैं हिंदी भी बोलती हूँ. I
Ah, that's
mean,
awesome.
Italiano means I can speak Italian. But the thing is that when you are writing in different languages, like for example in English, in Spanish, or whatever, Portuguese. Recently, I also wrote something in German language. Actually, you have to be kind of deep in the culture, and also when you do the rhyme and all these things in what you are actually gonna write. So it's always a beautiful kind of discovery. It's like like you are a small child who is starting learning, who is starting to know how to speak. So that makes me very enthusiastic when I do something. So far, I can speak 7 languages, but I'm trying to learn also Arabic. So sooner or
Wow.
later, stay tuned. I may start speaking Arabic too, because it's something that stimulates my creativity and my brain. And I always feel that the more you use your brain, the more you will get power to your brain. the more you are lazy, the more you will feel like you don't want to do anything else. So
That
I
is
think it's very important. That's my message, especially to these new teenagers, because sometimes, I see them playing a lot PlayStations or being very busy in watching television, but sometimes it's also good to read a book or maybe to create themselves something rather than just being there like an audience and to see what other people are giving to them. And on television there are good programs like yours, and because I've watched all your episodes, I congratulate with you about your channel. But unfortunately, there are also some junk programs which actually should be avoided, especially by the
absolutely.
young
You're
generation.
absolutely
So,
right that you have to use your time. It's very precious, and golden
anyway,
time never comes back again. That is so true. That you have to use and live every moment of your life and be positive and spread happiness and make it useful. That is so true. So, Gioconda, I am getting so many text messages from my viewers. They want to know what is the meaning of Gioconda, your name.
Gioconda, it's actually deriving from ancient Latin, which Iucunda actually, then in modern times in Italian means joyful.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
maybe it's like my mantra for my life, because I always try to be positive and to keep, a joyful attitude towards people. And I think that actually there is a destiny in a name, kind of these things,
You
because
are just like the way your name is. Absolutely right. So, I would like you to share with our viewers how you felt when you performed in Grammy Awards in 2007.
oh, it was such a beautiful experience and such, a touching experience, because to be there with the legendary artist
Yeah.
and at such a young age, also it has filled my heart of joy. And I think that for an artist, when you are inside the music, you are like into a different zone. You are in a different world, basically. And that time I was in a Grammy world. So
So,
it was.
how you got the opportunity to be part of Bollywood industry?
Actually, it has happened after a spiritual journey that I did in India, because I used to go to Ganga River to do my puja there,
Oh,
and it happened in a very particular moment of my life, because I was in a period of my life where I wanted to take some decisions, and so I went to India, and actually there was not at all in my brain the idea of doing anything else as per the work. It should have been only a proper spiritual journey. But then I think that Bharat, God,
uh-huh.
made in a way that I met the right people who introduced me to this kind of industry. But and then, as of when things should happen, you will be at the right time, at the right moment, in the right place, and that happened to me. And I felt it was maybe my karma that had led me there. So I thought that I should have been grateful and also to contribute to India, क्योंकि भारत मेरा दिल से है. So I
That's
wanted
great.
to give a fusion of what I could do best, means opera. So I invented a new genre of singing, which is the Bollywood opera, and
Yeah.
I blended opera with Bollywood songs, and it was first time ever that some opera singer had
Yes, you
done
are
that.
the first one who will
Yeah,
on the fusion
I
of opera and Hindi songs. Yeah, of course.
maybe that's because I'm always very unconventional. I always do whatever the brain suggested to me to do. And in that, in that moment, I thought, yeah, I should do something innovative and something, when I actually I've heard for the first time in the airplane while I was going to India that song to me, and I just thought, why, when there is, that bridge just played by violin, why? Imagine what would happen if I will sing opera in those bars. So I started singing like क्योंकि तुम ही हो जिंदगी अब तुम ही हो चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी अब तुम ही हो.
You could.
So I put like
Wow,
line,
awesome.
and and then I continue keeping on singing on the pop voice, and that idea I just got while flying. So on the airplane, I was also flying with my brain, maybe. I don't
Oh,
know.
nice. Gioconda, I would like to request you if you can move a little bit on your left because the shade of light is coming on your face.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
left, like
it's looking
my
nice
finger
on you, but I want our viewers to see you clearly. Yeah,
coming on me.
yeah. Again,
I
it
don't
is
know.
coming, I think, so you have to fix it a little bit. Yeah.
Hmm? Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
Now
perfect, perfect. Thank you
the
so much.
flag is
Thank you so much.
always following me. That's the German windows. That's the
So nice. So
German windows.
आपने हिंदी सीखी तो आपको हिंदी सीखने में मुश्किल आई or you felt it's easy?
Yeah, I found it easy. You know why? Maybe because, like my Guruji used to say to me, I'm sorry, I
It's
don't know what happened.
you can just fix your screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
perfect. Perfect.
That's
Thank you
the
so much.
when we are live, and we are alive in a live show. So basically, my Guruji used to say to me that I'm a Hindustani Lurki since a previous life, and maybe I feel to be like that because for me, to learn Hindi, it has happened in a very smooth way, and just listening to people on the street, and during my travels on the airplanes. And so I'm so happy that I still have to to improve, because I'm not perfect, because I was not born Indian in this life, but yeah, still I like to speak Hindi when I'm with the Mera Hindustani Doston.
How nice. It's really great. But tell me one thing, like you are outstanding and the way you are, it's just one of a kind, I'll say. So what is required to become a good opera singer? What's really required? Because a lot of youth they want to aspire their career in this field, but they really find it very difficult and they just give up.
Yeah, actually, you should always believe a lot in yourself, knowing yourself. That's the most important thing. Knowing your voice, your pros and your cons.
Mm-hmm.
Just once you have the deep knowledge of what you are and what kind of voice you have, you can choose the right repertory, because you must know that actually we have, of course, four kind of voices in like soprano, alto for the female voice, and tenor, baritone, bass for the male voice, and mezzo also for the female voice. But so actually six. But what we have to understand that it's not that all the sopranos can sing the same repertory, because within soprano voice we have different kind of soprano leggero, soprano dramatic, soprano lyric. So according to what your voice is, you have to choose the proper repertory in order to safeguard your voice, and also to express your artistic skills in the best way. So in this process, it's very important to study hard, to be very humble, and very ground. Very you should always think that you are like a child who has always to start learning and never to be overconfident in the process of study. Of course, when you are on the stage, you have to be proud of yourself and confident. But when you are studying, because this kind of study, it requires like 5, 6 hours per day, every day,
Yeah.
to be at your piano and to rehearsal a lot and to be focused a lot. So it's a kind of meditation, let's say. You have always to explore what your voice is telling you in that moment, which kind of technique you have to use for winning that challenge. Because every time, every opera has a challenge. Sometimes, you have some some difficult in the rhythm of the operas, sometimes in the orchestra, because of course you have to stand in front of a 50 musicians
Yep.
who are
Yep.
playing live in the orchestra, plus 100 people in the choir. When you are a soloist like me, or even when you are a choir singer, still you have to be focused, even though somehow there is less responsibility, because you are supported by other singers. But especially when you are a soloist, all the responsibility is falling on you. Everyone is pointing at you when you do well, and is like disappointed against you when you don't do a good job. And the opera audience is a very strict audience,
Yeah.
so it may bring you very up, but also it may bring you and not forgive you when you just maybe do a single small error in a pitch or everything. So I think that I've been lucky enough that I also did not just my music in studies, but also scientific studies. So that kind of mind setting in being very precise, because when you study numbers, scientific things, you should not just do Chalegavala.
Yeah.
That kind of mind setting I also transposed into my music studies, and that has helped me a lot, actually, because I always been very precise as per the critics say to me, and always been very also doing a research, actually, in whatever opera I needed to perform. So that's a really important thing to keep in mind.
Thank you so much for sharing this. This is really very important and it's going to be very beneficial for all our viewers who are watching this. It's great to know. So tell me one thing, Gioconda, you're so famous, you have so many fans. So what's the favorite compliment you have received from your fan which really touches your heart? Or the best
Uh,
compliment you must have ever
Actually,
got?
I'm I love them a lot, because I always feel that their comments are spontaneous.
Yeah.
So they when they say to me that they love me, they love my voice, many of them actually they also love my physical aspect, but that doesn't make me so proud. Actually, I mean it's something that makes you happy, but I always like every kind of comments. Because I feel that they are spontaneous. Because I also, sometimes I'm asking forgiveness to all my fans when I can't read all their messages, but I see that they are continuing keeping writing in the private inbox and all these things, and they actually. And even I try to reply as much as possible because I feel that all the artists
Yeah.
are here because of the audience. So we should always respect the audience. And I always hated those people who do fake snobbish or fake attitude because, we should always remember that we are here, we artists, we people of show business are here because of the audience. And if the audience loves you, you should always it's a kind of mutual love. Of course, sometimes we don't have time. We can't just stay there full day to reply to them. So we need help also from social media people and all. But I always try to reply at as best as I can. And I'm very thankful to all my fans for the love they are showing to me. And this love is mutual.
That's so nice, and you're so grounded, Gioconda. It's so nice talking to you and so much to learn from you.
Thank you.
So, what are
I'm
your upcoming projects, Gioconda?
Pardon.
Yeah, what are your upcoming projects?
Right now, I'm singing in Germany and Austria a fantastic repertory which will be going on for the next Pandra Din. And it's actually a new repertory of opera which is called Chamber Opera Songs.
Okay.
And it's all the leader, actually in German language they call these songs leader, about Schumann, Strauss, and Schubert, which actually are something very beautiful because they are a kind of opera but with a more intimate feeling because the importance of the piano in this kind of repertory is prevalent. So orchestra is put aside for some time. So it's more about poems and expressions of feelings. So in these days, I'm very grateful to God for giving me the chance of singing again this repertory that for some time I put aside for some due to COVID, unfortunately, for 3 months. Everything has been frozen in Italy, so it's a good way of starting again with the things I like best, and I always choose whatever inspires me the most. And this is actually what's making me very happy. And in this period, I'm singing one lieder which is so romantic by Schubert, which
Oh,
is in German language,
oh,
and it's
wow.
a passionate song of love. Meine Ruhe ist in mein Herz ist schön, ich finde nimmer und nimmer. Meine Ruhe ist in mein Herz ist schwer. Ich finde nimmer. So,
Wow, what a voice. It just from our ears straight come to our heart. It's beautiful. Such a lovely voice you have.
conversation is really amazing. So I hope that you will hear it because I'm gonna publish it on my YouTube channel. So
Yeah, we are super excited now. Our excitement is more after listening this.
yes,
So as you're on our show, I just don't want you to say okay, bye, because you're such a lovely person. So much to learn from
It's
you, but our
moving so
time is so
fast.
short. But
I think that has been, it's almost 40 minutes we are talking. I'm just looking
but
now
I
at
really
the
feel we
watch and I
we
need
are
to
not
rush
able to
actually
cover
because I have
everything still. We need to do
yes,
part two with you. You have achieved so much in your life, so much of
I'm
achievements. It's
so
it's it's
happy.
great to talk to a person like you. It's really very nice, and these
Very
moments
good.
are so special for our channel also to have you with
I
us.
a very good vibration with you. That's why I'm so fluently like a fountain of water, just talking, and that's fantastic because I didn't even know what was this interview about. I just accepted it because I want to also give my greetings to Chawan and Amik, who suggested me to do that because he spoke me very good and in a great way about your TV channel, about all the amazing work you are doing, the events, and to bring the Asian culture in USA. It's such a big thing. So I'm really thankful to you. Shabash, like Hindustani.
थैंक यू सो मच मुझे सुन के बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे
Anyone. Bye bye.
थैंक यू जियोकॉन्टा थैंक यू सो मच